Alright, this one is Blacc Panther Reloaded, and I'm gonna give you the reasons why the Blacc Panther is all about the Americas. Make sure y'all stick around to the end though. Firstly, and probably one of the smallest reasons, right, that the movie was actually filmed mostly in Georgia. Atlanta to be specific, which is actually the territory of the Yamasee Nation. It's a lot of tribes that was in that nation, but that was a part of our territory. And some may call it the Creek Confederacy, which happened later, but that's a whole nother story. We gonna get into this though. And I can't mention anything about the Black Panthers without mentioning the Black Panther Party, right? You see that Panther power, right? I'm gonna tell you where the Black Panther is actually indigenous to. Stick around to the end. Now, in the Maya language, Tikal, where Tikal comes from, means at the water hole. Keep that in mind. T'Challa in the Chickasaw language means people or person. In Hebrew, Tehillah means praise, song, or hymn of song. In the Yuchi language, Kasape T'Challa means Indian Negroes, according to Google, but we know that the Negroes are the real Indians. Now, the main fountain of youth is located in St. Augustine, Florida, so-called the oldest city in the whole United States, which was Yamasee territory. But there is a Wakanda Springs in Kansas, once also referred to as a fountain of youth. There is also a Wakanda, Illinois, a Wakanda, Washington, but there is no Wakanda in Africa. Wakanda means spirit water in one language. In 1823, according to the account of an expedition from Pittsburgh to the Rocky Mountains, the word Wakanda was the Omaha Indians' word for God. In fact, it seems to be an equivalent of Algonquin, Gitche, Manito, Great Spirit, the creative life force that connects and inhabits all things. Other Samoan-speaking tribes have Wakanda in their language too, just spelled differently. Now, of the Lakota Indians, Wakan Tonka or Wakanda means great spirit or great mystery. And as I was saying earlier, the Omaha Indians referred to Wakanda as a superior being or a place of reward for the virtuous, and the Ponca Indians did the same. Now, this bird that you see on the screen is the Wakinyan, the thunderbird or eagle, and is the favorite companion of the Wakan Tonka or Wakanda. According to them, the Wakan Tonka secret names are Scan and Tu, which both means blue. So the Wakan Tonka or the Wakanda is blue, right? And Khan means divinity. Y'all remember that. Now, the blue Krishna of Hinduism is known as Kanha, and Krishna was actually known as the dark one, right? Depicted either blue or black. Kanhalwa is his nickname, showing that not only the color blue, but the name Khan is both always associated with divinity of all major religions. Hinduisms, the Hawaiians, Polynesians, ancient Egyptians, all use the word Khan, blue, and a bird of some sort to express divinity for real. But all of it comes back to us, the real ancient Americans, agriculture and astronomy. Now, in the Maya language, Kin means sun and day. It also stands for a single day in their calendar system. In the Maya language, Kin Ich Ahau means sun, I, Lord. And this is him on the screen. This is a Mayan ancient artifact behind me. But in the Mayan language, Kan spells K-A-N or C-A-N means serpent, and Ka'an means sky or heaven, spelled with two A's. And Ka'anlil equals celestial or divine. And Khan is associated with the number 4, fertility and abundance. The serpent, which is a symbol for all of that I just named, but also justice, truth, peace, the framer and shaper of the universe, idea of time and motion, reproductivity, Ursa Minor, or Shonkulili, the summer solstice, life as a continual cycle, and more, a lot more. But most of all, the serpent in ancient Mayan spirituality, Kukulkan, the divine twin feathered serpent or plum serpent, which represents duality and everything else I just said before this. So Kukulkan is the divine twin feathered serpent or plum serpent, right? But it all goes back to astronomy, like I said earlier. Now, Seven Macau, aka the Big Dipper, is depicted as a bird as well. Y'all know the 7 stands for the number of stars in that constellation and is the reason why the chiefs wore feathers. The chief, or Hahau, wore feathers because it represented the constellation Draco, which was a part of the Ursa constellations. They saw Draco as a constellation that never set, so they depicted it as a bird and a serpent. Seven Macau is above Draco, i.e. the divine feathered serpent. Let me get back to the Blacc Panther, so y'all please enjoy the rest of this presentation. Peace, love, and power.
American signs and symbols featuring jaguars and ocelots. Let's start with the jaguar, aka the Panthera onca. This big cat was known by a few names. Here are some. I call it the real Blacc Panther, and in a second we'll get into why it is. It was also known as the Chaco and the Balam by the Mayan. Also referenced as Tezcatlipoca and Tepeyoloto by the Aztec. Tepeyoloto means heart of the mountain by the Aztec because it was believed that the jaguar lived in the middle of the mountain. As you can see here, the jaguar has the most powerful bite out of all the big cats with a 1500 psi. PSI just means pound per square inch. Jaguar is the only big cat that kills by biting the victim's skull and piercing it. All the other big cats kills by smothering its victim or prey. Now there are only 2 big cats that can be referred to as the Blacc Panther, the leopard and the jaguar. And I call the jaguar the real Blacc Panther. One of the main reasons is because the melanin gene within it, as you can read, is dominant within the jaguar and recessive within the leopard, which means there are more black jaguars than there are black leopards. So which one would really be considered as the Blacc Panther? I'll let you decide. The jaguar also hunts in the trees, water, and on land. Jaguars are also the only big cat in the Americas and the 3rd biggest cat in the world. Now let's get into the mythology of the jaguar, aka the Ik Balam. You guys can pause and read this excerpt right here while I just tell you what I found out in my research. So basically the Ik Balam, or the jaguar warrior, who is also known as a ruler, ranked as a sorcerer or a priest, and a god. And the Mayan also called the Balam the Chak or the Chakoy. Jaguar gods like God El is one of the oldest deities for the Mayans. And the Balam was also known as the ruler of the underworld. The jaguar god was also associated with vision, foresight, trade, riches, sorcery, and science. Rain, storms, thunder, and lightning was also under the jaguar god's dominion. The jaguar god also represented the color red. Several mounds, jaguar bones, jaguar skulls, jaguar teeth, and human remains was found painted red. Now when it comes to the Aztecs, not too much differs from the Mayan beliefs, being that the Aztecs got most of their beliefs from the Mayans. As you've seen in the excerpts, the Chaks, or the Chacoy, and the Balam of the Maya is identical to the Tlalocs and the Acli, or the rain lords of the Aztec. With the Aztec, the jaguar god was associated with the earth cult as votaries or deities in control of rain, agriculture, irrigation, and the collection and distribution of all products of the soil. He wanted the 4 lords and of the earth or below. In some tribes of the Mayan and of the Aztec, the jaguar was interchangeable with the ocelot. The jaguar wasn't only revered in the Mayan and Aztec cultures, but it was also revered in the Moche, the Inca, and the Olmec-Shi, so it really came from the Olmec-Shi. We all know that the jaguars are most known in Central and South America, but they roam North America too. Places like Nebraska, Washington, Maryland, Colorado, Ohio, California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and bones and fossils was found in Tennessee and Florida. The red jaguar was even adopted as the first official mascot for the 1968 Olympics held in Mexico City. Well, I forgot to add in, they got mad jaguar temples throughout Yucatan and Mexico. Kings even had to walk through the jaguar temple when getting coordinated, and throughout all of their clothing and the priests, they have jaguar insignias on them. Now on to the ocelot. Like I told you earlier, the ocelot was interchangeable with the jaguar in some tribes, and the ocelot was also called the balam. And we know balam is associated with Maya rulership and was associated with the north, the color red, the underworld, the nocturnal cult, and bearded priests in ancient Mayan and Aztec culture. According to some myths, Tezcatlipoca, after being the sun, was cast down from the supreme position by Huitzilopochtli, descended to the water, but arisen again in the shape of an ocelot and transformed himself into the constellation of Ursa Major, aka Sitlau Kololo or Star Scorpion. The ocelot at the same time was associated with Huitzilopochtli. It's always a mythical battle between Huitzilopochtli, who represents the above and male region, and Tezcatlipoca, who represents the below and female region, for the position of the ruling power in the heavens and sun. In the Maya language, the word ek or ik is a homonym for star and black. So they felt like a black spot was the most expressive sign for a star. It's the reason why the ocelot, whose fur is spotted with black, was employed as the figure of the nocturnal sky, and clearly proves the Aztecs adopted the symbolism from the Mayas. The highest form of ancient Aztec warriors was known as the ocelot and the eagles. And lastly, but not least, some figures combine the ocelot with wings and a head of a bird, symbolizing the union of the above and below, or heaven and earth. Hope this video was informative for you. Until next time, my people, peace, love, and power.
Smoking Sessions with Chief Pressure.